earlier we did cover the area of continued business justification. We went through the reasons why that is necessary. Now let's talk about learn from experience. Okay, learning from experience is the second of the PRINCE2 principles that's mentioned in the manual. PRINCE2 projects, teams learn from experience. Now, the basis of a project, if you recall, is that you very often would be working with different groups of people, right? When you assemble a project team, chances are that at least some of them would have never worked with the rest as a group before. So it's important to try and draw lessons from each other, from previous teams, from the organization's records and informal network as to what can we learn in the past. Yeah. If it was the same team that's been working year in and year out on different projects, then chances are that the group memory would be shared by individuals and regarding what's gone right, what's gone wrong in previous projects. Yeah, and that being not the case very often, we need to actually find some mechanism, some way in which we can try and draw on lesson has been learned by previous project teams. Now, learning from experience implies that we will do our best to record down any lessons learned, as well as simply to sit back and ask others to contribute lessons learned. Lessons are sought, recorded, and acted upon throughout the life of a project. So remember that in the beginning of a project, what are the things you do? Okay, I guess when you first start up a project, you are more likely to try and do research, right? You're more likely to draw on previous lessons learned. And as you progress through the projects, you continue to do that. But as you progress to the middle and towards the end of the project, the idea is that you are probably more likely to be recording down lessons. What's went well, what's went badly, what likely causes. And that's to help other people in the future, and of course you yourself as well, because after you run many projects, you are likely to remember everything. So keeping track of all the lessons learned is a good idea. The benefits, of course, is there are temporary benefits. The project team can benefit from past experience within the project itself. Perhaps there are certain users, there are certain stakeholders that you deal with, and the simple things like trying to estimate how long it takes in order to liaise with some other party. How long does it take for a particular supplier to perform a task or to supply other resources required by the projects compared to what they have specified or agreed upon. Lessons learned regarding the way we do the testing, for example. So there's a whole host of things that we can really record lessons learned. And this is to help us to avoid future mistakes. I think we all do that intuitively, personally, all the time now. So PRINCE2 is basically trying to, in a certain sort of way, we've got our lessons logs or lessons register, we'd like to call them. And remember that PRINCE2 basically lays down requirements, good things to do. However, there's no reason why an organization should use PRINCE2 terminology. It makes good sense. And for those of you who are studying for the PRINCE2 exams, you better know terminology is that PRINCE2 uses. However, PRINCE2 as a flexible method, there's no intention, there's no compulsion that an organization has to stick to PRINCE2 terms. However, the basic underlying principles and procedures have to be there. So we've finished talking about continued business justification and learn from experience. Do we have time for the next one, which is define roles and responsibilities? Probably not, because that's going to take a bit of time. And remember, this is a quickie introduction to PRINCE2. So until we meet again at the next session, bye-bye.